Hey everybody, Edward O'Daniel here, St. Louis, Missouri, and I wanted to comment and do a little bit of a live on a post that I saw here locally. First of all, let me just say I love being in the St. Louis, Missouri area, being an investor and a property manager in this area because we have a really, truly great group of solid people here that are looking to do well, looking to do, uh, just treat people right when it comes to handling real estate, purchasing, and so forth. And a friend of mine, her name is Christina Spells. She is a truly go-getter in this area, and she posted something on Facebook yesterday that had the kind of it. I've done it, but she talks about beneficiary deeds. Now, one of the things I wanted to kind of explain about this one is people don't understand that if you have a loved one and your loved one owns real estate, and it could be an older person like a grandma, and eventually that person is going to die, you want to make sure that you plan accordingly. Now, if you have a financial planner slash estate planner, these people can help you understand how to position real estate in a position where you're allowed to sell that property upon the death of a loved one. But one of the things you don't want to do is you don't want to get stuck where a loved one dies and the deed is not conveyed properly. So this is one of the things that Christina wanted to bring up because herself, the same way as me, we deal with people. I don't know if I deal with this daily, but I mean I deal with it at least monthly in my part, where people do not have the proper deed structure set up for a loved one. Now, this could necessarily not be an older person. I mean, it could seriously be just a younger person. I mean, you don't know when you're going to die. You could be hit in a car accident or whatever else, and you could die. But passing your real estate, you need to be able to plan and prepare for that. Now, one of the things I noticed that she didn't say in this. Sorry, let me back up here. A beneficiary deed is basically a piece of paper that you file with your local municipality that says upon the death of the homeowner, currently, the beneficial interest or the transfer of that property will go to another person. Okay, automatically upon that person's death. Now, you'll have to present a death certificate and some other things, but the issue that runs across is if that person dies, the property then gets moved to a live person who in turn can do something with it, can sell it, can act upon it, can do things like that for the family. Okay, the last thing you want to do is have a property that you own free and clear, like mom and dad, grandma, or whatever else, or even yourself if you are follow the philosophy of paying property off versus leverage. But if you own a property free and clear and you don't have a beneficiary deed set up or a family trust, and I'll get to that here in a little bit. Family trust is another way to avoid this without needing a beneficiary deed, but that requires estate planning. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I don't have legal advice. The only reason I'm coming to you and explaining this is because I've done this myself. Is I've been through this particular process. So I've been through the beneficiary deed process. My mother, she has passed. She owned a property and she had it mortgaged, and I filed a beneficiary deed on that one so that if she, when she died, it's only a matter of time. Everybody dies, but when that person died, my mom died. The property was automatically conveyed to me. Now, not automatically. It did require a little bit of work, but minimal. I had to go fill out some paperwork and submit a death certificate, and then the property was transferred over to me. Boom, not a problem. So I didn't have a problem with taking control or selling that property, unlike some people. Now, the thing that Christina brought up, I'm just looking at her post from yesterday, so sorry if I go back and forth here. But what Christina was trying to bring up is Christina was bringing the fact that when she goes and she's a real estate investor, she buys a lot of property here, flips it and sells it, which is great. It's one of the things I admire about her. But she sees people who are trying to sell a property and the property has not been properly conveyed through the title. So she would love to buy it, but the point is she can't. And if the person died and there was no beneficiary deed, the only way to do that is to kind of go through either a probate process or a quiet title or something like that, which is going to be time consuming and costly for you to do that. So it's much better that people get educated, people understand that if you have a loved one, or even if yourself, I mean, if you don't have a property or your real estate inside of a family trust, and this is more or less beneficiary deed. I'm not going to go over family trust in this one. But if you have a family trust set up, then yes, your property is automatically conveyed, and then there's beneficiaries and so forth of your family trust, trustees that can help handle that sale of that property. But if you don't have an estate plan in place, then a beneficiary deed is a very quick, easy way to do it. Now, several things I saw in Christina's post, people are like, well, how do I do this? How do I get a beneficiary deed? Well, yes, you can hire an attorney. I mean, an attorney can do it for you. But right now, we are, there are some places that require a closing attorney in some states, but Missouri is a title company state. So, I mean, title companies also have attorneys. So a title company can do that for you as well. So if you go into a title company, maybe where you close your property at, or even just get an attorney, either one of those can register a beneficiary deed for you and put that on title so that you are safe, you're good, and then now that if somebody were to die, that property is going to be conveyed properly. So beneficiary deeds are, I mean, for a few $100s, they save you tons of trouble. But do this in advance. Look at whoever owns real estate in your family and look at, if that person were to die, if you ask that question, if this person was to die today, how would this property be conveyed? How could I sell it? I mean, the property could be free and clear. It could be worth, say, $150,000. Well, if it's a $150,000 property and you can't sell it, then that doesn't mean anything, okay? You don't have the power to sell it. You're going to have to go to court. You're going to have to jump through a lot of hoops and pay money, thousands and thousands of dollars to pay in attorney fees to go get that done for you. So, excuse me. It's the morning, I'm having a little cup of coffee. I like that. I don't need Google. My wife knows everything. It's a funny one. A friend bought that for me. But anyway, back to beneficiary deeds. It's just very important that you understand, if you have this, to look over truly, you should have an estate planner. You should have a financial planner. You should have wills. You should have living wills. You should have a family trust. I mean, you should have all of this stuff set up, okay, in case you die. I went through that process several years ago of making sure that if I were to die or fall over or get hit, that everything would flow correctly for my family and there would be no delay. There would be no hiccup in who can do what with my family. And likewise, that has to be revisited every couple years. I mean, sometimes, the people that you have designated as trustees and people that are going to do things in the family, they may die, or you may not want them to be a part of your family trust anymore. But just take a look at that. If you have property, use a beneficiary deed. And I'm glad Christina brought this up. This is a very good topic that should be brought up. I mean, if you're a real estate investor, and you go out and you talk to people about buying a particular property, whether or not they buy the property from you, that could be something that you add value to them by just simply saying, hey, I don't know if you're aware, but this is what you would do, because if you don't do this, if you don't get this beneficiary deed, this can happen to you. And I've seen people in that situation struggle financially because they have to do a bunch of work now to get that $150,000 house sold. They can't just sell it automatically. And as an investor, you can't buy it because the title is not cleared. So you have to go through that process and making sure that title is clear, making sure you're not going to have any problems, and then you can eventually, as an investor, you can buy the property. But again, you can't sell the property. Imagine that if people were trying to get this property sold and then come to find out, well, you need to pay a lawyer $5,000 to go through court for the next 12 to 14 months or something to get this property cleared, and only then will I be able to come and buy it from you. And they're like, really? So now I have to take care of this property. Hopefully it doesn't get damaged or anything like that in the next year. That can be unfortunate. Anyway, that was all I had to say. I just want to comment, piggyback off of Christina's post, because it's a very good post. But I just want to make sure that people understand that beneficiary deeds are one way to handle things. They are, but in my opinion, and you guys can leave comments below, in my opinion, a family trust is a better way to handle passing real estate between people if you have that set up. But a family trust requires a lawyer. It does require, that you pay them for their time. There are lots of questions and decisions that have to be made. That's not something that you can do quickly. A beneficiary deed you can do very quickly. I mean, you can do in a day, and just hours. You walk in, they prepare the document. The parties go in and sign it. It does have to be notarized. You go record it on the public records, and now the deed is done in case anything happens. Now the property conveys properly. So beneficiary deeds are quicker, but in my opinion, a family trust is a better way to handle real estate when it comes to your family. So guys, I hope you found this useful. If you have any comments, good, bad, you can say I'm full of crap. That's right. Just say I'm full of crap down there. But if you don't mind, leave me a reason why. Tell me why I'm full of crap. So anyway, people tell me that all the time. But guys, I hope you found this useful, and just have a great day. See ya.